You have worn so many faces. My child, haven't you a carefully curated collection of masks? Each one designed for a different stage, a different audience, a different perceived demand of the world around you. There was the mask of competence, radiating an assurance you rarely felt. There was the mask of agreeability, smiling and nodding even when your spirit silently protested. There was the mask of strength, holding back the tears, concealing the vulnerabilities, presenting an image of unshakable fortitude to a world that often seems to penalize fragility. And as you navigated your days, shifting from one persona to another with an almost unconscious skill, a quiet, persistent ache began to grow within you. The ache of a true self unexpressed, a core identity feeling increasingly distant, like a forgotten melody whose faint echoes only you could sometimes hear in the dead of night. They saw these masks, my beloved, and often they applauded them. So capable, they might have remarked, so easygoing, so resilient. They interacted with the facade, the carefully constructed image you presented, and perhaps they even loved that image. But how many, my child, truly saw you? How many glimpsed the tender, authentic heart beating beneath the layers of self-protection, the unique, God-breathed essence that longed to be known, to be seen, to be cherished for what it truly was, not for what it pretended to be. And in that chasm between the performed self and the hidden self, a profound loneliness took root. A sense of being a stranger even amidst a crowd, an actor playing a part so convincingly that you almost forgot the true character you were meant to embody. This disconnection, this sense of a lost or buried self, did not happen overnight, my precious one. It was a gradual erosion, a slow drifting away, often initiated by the harsh winds of worldly expectation, the bruising encounters of past hurts, or the subtle, insidious whispers of fear. Perhaps there were moments in your journey when your true, tender self was met with criticism, with misunderstanding, with rejection, and so you learned to guard it, to conceal it, to build protective walls around it, believing this was the only way to survive, to avoid further pain, or perhaps the clamor of the world, with its endless demands for conformity, its narrow definitions of success and acceptability simply drowned out the quiet voice of your own authentic spirit until you began to mistake their script for your own. You may have strived for their approval, contorting your beautiful, unique soul into shapes that felt foreign, uncomfortable, yet seemingly necessary for acceptance, for belonging, for love. You chased their definition of worth, their measures of achievement, hoping that by attaining these things, the inner emptiness, the sense of a missing piece, would finally be filled. But with each outward success, with each layer of adopted persona, the true self often receded further, its light growing dimmer, its voice fainter, until you found yourself living a life that, while perhaps impressive to others, felt strangely hollow, deeply inauthentic. To you, there were moments, weren't there, my child, when the mask slipped a sudden surge of genuine emotion, an unexpected expression of a deeply held conviction, a fleeting glimpse of the passionate, vibrant being you were created to be. And in those moments, perhaps you felt a flicker of fear. Will they see me? Will they reject this truer version? Quickly followed by the familiar donning of the protective facade. Or perhaps, in those rare instances of authenticity, you felt a surge of life, a taste of freedom so potent, so intoxicating that it left you yearning for more, even as you retreated back into the perceived safety of your assumed roles. This inner dissonance, this quiet ache of a spirit not fully expressed, is a heavy burden to carry. My beloved, it drains your vitality. It stifles your creativity. It creates a subtle, persistent unrest within your soul, a longing for something more, something real, something true. You may have tried to silence this longing with activity, with distractions, with further striving, but it remained a faithful, albeit painful, reminder that you are living at a distance from your own sacred core. But I tell you, my child, with a love that has never once mistaken your masks for your true face, with a gaze that is always pierced through every layer of self-protection to behold the radiant beauty of your authentic spirit, I am the voice that has been and is continually calling you back to that true self. Even when you felt most lost in the labyrinth of worldly expectations, even when you believed your true identity was irretrievably buried beneath the rubble of past hurts and accumulated fears. My call has been there, a gentle whisper in the depths of your being, a persistent echo of the divine melody you were created to sing, while the world interacted with the personas you projected. I was communing with the true you, the you that I knit together in your mother's womb, the you that bears my indelible image, the you whose essence is eternal, precious, and unrepeatable. I have never lost sight of that true self, my beloved, even when you yourself may have forgotten its contours, its colors, its unique song. I have cherished it, protected it, and longed for the day when you would once more recognize it. Embrace it, and allow it to shine forth in all its God-given splendor. The emptiness you have felt, the sense of being a stranger to yourself, these are not signs of your inherent flaw, but rather the natural consequence of living disconnected from the wellspring of your own divine authenticity. It is your spirit's cry for home, its longing to return to the truth of who you are in me, and my voice, my child, is the compass, the beacon, the loving invitation that is always, always guiding you towards that sacred homecoming. The journey back to your true self may require courage. It may involve the shedding of familiar, albeit constricting, layers. But it is the most vital, most life-giving journey you will ever undertake. And I am with you every step of the way. My voice, your constant guide. My love, your unfailing support, as I call you back to the magnificent, authentic, and deeply beloved self you are always meant to be. Yes, my child, amidst the clamor of a world that so often demands you be anything but your authentic self, amidst the echoes of past hurts that taught you to conceal your tender heart, amidst the very masks you so skillfully learned to wear, my voice has never ceased its gentle, persistent call to you. It has been the quietest of whispers in the loudest of storms, the faintest melody beneath the cacophony of worldly demands, the unwavering light in the deepest wilderness of your soul's wandering, though you may not have always recognized it, though its subtle frequency may have often been drowned out by louder, more insistent claims on your attention. My voice, the voice of your Creator, your God, has been perpetually breathing your true name, calling you back to the sanctuary of your true self. You have walked through deserts of inauthenticity, my beloved, landscapes where you felt parched for genuine connection, for a sense of belonging that did not require you to forfeit your core. In those arid places, where the mirages of worldly approval and fleeting acceptance shimmered invitingly, my voice was the sound of a hidden spring, promising living water, offering a truth that could quench the deepest thirst of your spirit. While you pursued the echoes, I was calling you to the source. While you chased the reflections, I was inviting you to the reality. This voice of mine, my child, is not like the voices of the world. Their voices are often strident, demanding, conditional. They shout for your compliance, your conformity, your performance. They offer praise when you meet their expectations and withdraw it when you falter or diverge. Their standards are shifting, their approval fickle, their demands often contradictory, leaving you in a state of perpetual anxiety, forever striving to please, to measure up, to fit into molds that were never designed for your unique and sacred spirit. The world's voices often lead you further away from your true self, encouraging you to build higher walls, to perfect more convincing masks, to bury deeper the authentic treasures I place within you. And then there is the voice of your own inner critic, my child, that harsh taskmaster born of past wounds, of absorbed judgments, of fear. This voice is relentless in its condemnation, quick to point out your flaws, to magnify your mistakes, to whisper that you are not good enough, not worthy enough, not lovable enough as you truly are. It feeds on your insecurities, thrives in your moments of doubt, and seeks always to keep you bound in shame, alienated from my grace and from the truth of your inherent belovedness. But my voice, my precious one, is altogether different. It is a voice of unwavering, unconditional love. It does not shout, it whispers. For truth does not need to be loud to be powerful. It does not condemn, it calls. It does not demand, it invites. It does not seek to mold you into an image of the world's making, but to awaken within you the glorious, divine image in which you were originally created. My voice speaks not to your facade, but to your essence. It bypasses the masks and penetrates to the very core of your being, where your true self resides, often hidden, sometimes wounded, but always, always cherished by me, even when you were most lost in the wilderness of false identities, when you felt most disconnected from your own heart, when the echoes of your lost self felt most faint. My voice was there. It was the quiet ache of longing you sometimes felt for something more, something real, something true. It was the fleeting moment of clarity that pierced through your confusion, reminding you of a deeper peace, a forgotten joy. It was the gentle tug on your spirit, pulling you away from paths that would lead to further emptiness, towards a way you could not yet fully discern, but which resonated with an ancient, familiar truth within your soul. My call to your true self is persistent because my love for you is persistent. I do not give up on my beloved children. I do not abandon them to the wilderness of their own making or the world's deceptions. My voice is like a homing beacon, constantly emitting its signal of love, of truth, of invitation, patiently waiting for you to tune your inner ear to its frequency, to recognize its familiar, life-giving sound. It is the voice of your shepherd, calling his own sheep by name, leading them out of dangerous pastures and into places of safety, of nourishment, of rest, You may have mistaken my voice for your own wishful thinking at times, or dismissed its gentle promptings as impractical or unrealistic in a world that seems to reward a different kind of striving. But the hallmark of my voice, my child, is that it always leads towards greater love, greater truth, greater freedom, greater authenticity, greater peace, and a deeper connection with me and with the core of your own being. It will never call you to compromise your integrity, to harm another, or to deny the sacred spark of divinity within you. It will always affirm your inherent worth, your belovedness, your unique purpose. Learning to distinguish my voice from the many other voices that clamor for your attention is a sacred art. My child, a journey of discernment that unfolds as you cultivate intimacy with me. It requires a stilling of the outer noise, a quieting of the inner critic, and an intentional turning of your heart towards my presence. It requires a willingness to listen deeply, to trust the gentle knowings, the subtle nudges, the peaceful confirmations that my spirit imparts. Even when you wore your most convincing masks, my voice was there, whispering beneath the pretense. This is not all of you, my child. There's more. There's a truer you waiting to be known, waiting to be lived, even when you felt most alienated from your own spirit. My voice was the unbreakable thread connecting you back to your divine origin, reminding you that you are never truly lost as long as you are willing to listen for the call home. This whisper in the wilderness of your past wanderings, this constant, loving call towards your true self, has never been a voice of judgment for your having strayed. It has always been, and will always be, a voice of invitation, of hope, of promise. It is the voice of the Father waiting for the prodigal to return, ready to embrace, to restore, to celebrate. I am that voice, my child, and I am calling you, even now, from the echoes of your lost self, from the weariness of your inauthentic striving, into the radiant, liberating truth of who you truly are in me. Listen, my beloved, listen with your heart. My voice is nearer than your breath, and it speaks only love. And so, my child, as my voice, your eternal shepherd's call continues to whisper its loving invitation through the wilderness of your past wanderings and beneath the layers of your carefully constructed personas. Let me now illuminate for your heart the very essence of that to which I am calling you back. For when I speak of your true self, I speak of something infinitely precious, eternally significant, a radiant masterpiece of my own divine artistry, a unique reflection of my own being that I have cherished from before the foundations of the world, and which I continue to behold with unwavering love, even when you yourself may have lost sight of its beauty or forgotten its existence. This true self, my beloved, is not an idealized version of you that you must strive to attain through arduous effort or flawless performance. It is not a distant, unattainable perfection. No, your true self is the very core of who I created you to be, the original design impressed upon your spirit by my own hand, the divine spark I breathed into you that makes you uniquely, wonderfully you. It is that unblemished essence, pure and radiant, that existed in my heart before the world laid its claims upon you, before fear taught you to build walls, before pain etched its sorrows upon your tender soul, before you learned to wear the masks that promise safety, but delivered only a hollow imitation of belonging. Contained within this true self is your inherent, inalienable worth, a worth that is not dependent on your achievements, your appearance, your possessions, or the approval of others. It is a worth that is intrinsic, absolute, bestowed upon you by virtue of your being my child, created in my image, beloved beyond measure. The world may try to assign value based on fleeting, external criteria, but your true self knows its value is eternal. Rooted in my unchanging love, this is the bedrock of your being, the unshakable foundation from which all authentic life flows. Your true self is also the repository of the unique constellation of gifts, talents, passions, and perspectives that I have woven into the fabric of your soul. These are not random attributes, my child, but carefully chosen threads, specific colors in your unique divine palette, designed for a particular purpose, a specific contribution that only you can make to the grand tapestry of my creation. Perhaps it is a gift for compassion that feels the world's hurts deeply, a talent for creativity that brings beauty into being, a passion for justice that burns against inequity, a unique way of seeing the world that offers fresh insight and wisdom. These are not accidental. These are the sacred endowments of your true self, waiting to be fully expressed, fully utilized, for my glory and for the blessing of the world. And at the very heart of your true self, my beloved, is an innate, intuitive connection to me, your source, your sustainer, your ultimate home. There is a homing instinct within your spirit that always, in its purest state, yearns for me, seeks me, recognizes my voice. This connection may have become obscured, muffled by the noise of the world or the static of your own inner turmoil, but it has never been severed. Your true self knows me and knows itself in me. It understands, with a wisdom deeper than intellect, that its life, its purpose, its joy are all found in communion with my spirit. This is your most fundamental identity, your deepest truth. Why then, my child, if this true self is so beautiful, so precious, so divinely ordained, have you often felt so disconnected from it? Why the masks, the inauthenticity, the echoes of a lost self that you described in your heart, the journey through a world that is often at odds with my kingdom can be a challenging one for a tender spirit. From your earliest days, you encountered expectations, pressures, and experiences that may have subtly, or not so subtly, encouraged you to deviate from your authentic core. Perhaps it was the need for love and acceptance, a fundamental human longing, in your desire to belong, to be cherished. You may have learned to adapt, to conform, to present a version of yourself that you believe will be more pleasing, more acceptable to those around you. You may have silenced the inconvenient truths of your heart, suppressed the unique expressions of your spirit, donned the mask that earned applause, even if it felt like a betrayal of your inner reality, or perhaps it was fear. My child, fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, fear of being truly seen and found wanting, past hurts, moments when your tender, authentic self was met with criticism, ridicule, or pain, may have taught you that it was safer to hide, to build walls, to present a more resilient, less accessible facade. The true self, with its inherent sensitivity and openness, can feel too exposed in a world that often wounds. And so, you learned to protect it, to bury it deep beneath layers of guardedness, until its light became almost invisible even to yourself. Sometimes it is simply the relentless conditioning of the world, with its materialistic values, its superficial definitions of success, its constant barrage of distracting noise, that gradually erodes your connection to your true self. You become so caught up in the striving, the achieving, the accumulating, that you lose touch with the quiet, inner sanctuary where your authentic spirit resides, where my voice whispers. You begin to identify with your roles, your possessions, your external image, forgetting that these are but fleeting accessories, not the eternal essence of who you are. But through all these wanderings, my beloved, through all the layers of accumulated masks and forgotten truths, I have never lost sight of your true self. I have always beheld it, cherished it, protected its sacred flame from being utterly extinguished. My voice has been the constant, loving call, seeking to awaken your remembrance, to draw you back from the periphery of your assumed identities to the vibrant, life-giving center of your authentic being. The longing you have felt, that quiet ache for something more, that sense of dissonance and inauthenticity, these are not signs of your failure, my child, but the very stirring of your true self, responding to my call, yearning to break free from its confines, to breathe the pure air of authenticity once more. It is the divine homing instinct within you, activated by my voice, guiding you back to the treasure I placed within you from the beginning. This true self I cherish is not a static entity, but a dynamic, unfolding expression of my life in you. As you respond to my call, as you begin to shed the masks and heal the wounds, your true self will emerge with ever-increasing radiance, resilience, and beauty. It is a journey of becoming, my child, a sacred unfolding, and I am with you every step of the way, my voice your guide, my love your constant affirmation, as I call you back to the magnificent, cherished, and utterly unique, true self you were always and are always meant to be. And so, my beloved child, as the image of your true self, that radiant, cherished essence I have woven into your very being, begins to re-emerge in your consciousness, know that my voice, which has never ceased its loving call, now seeks to become even more distinct, more clearly perceived by your awakening spirit. For there comes a moment, a sacred stirring within the depths of your soul, when the persistent whisper of my love begins to cut through the accumulated noise of the world and the internal static of your own fears and false narratives. This, my precious one, is the beginning of recognition, the dawning awareness that there is indeed a voice calling you to a deeper, truer way of living, a voice that resonates with the ancient memory of who you truly are in me. This stirring of recognition may not always be a dramatic, thunderous event. More often, it begins subtly, like the first faint blush of dawn on a long, dark horizon. Perhaps it starts with a growing sense of dissatisfaction with the masks you have worn, a weariness from the roles you have played, an inner emptiness that the world's applause can no longer fill. This divine discontent, my child, is often my grace at work, creating a crack in the facade, an opening through which my voice can more clearly penetrate. It is the true self within you, responding to my call, beginning to stir from its slumber, yearning for authenticity, for breath, for life, or perhaps this recognition comes in a moment of profound stillness. When the usual distractions of your life fall away, and in the quiet, you hear a sound you had almost forgotten, the gentle, unmistakable resonance of my spirit speaking to your spirit. It might be during a walk in nature, in a moment of quiet prayer or meditation, or even in the midst of a deep sorrow, when your heart is broken open and made tenderly receptive to my touch, my whisper. Suddenly, amidst all the other voices that have long competed for your attention, my voice emerges with a clarity, a purity, a loving authority that captivates your soul. Learning to distinguish my voice, my child, from the myriad other voices that assail you is a crucial part of this journey back to your true self. The voices of the world, as you know, are often loud, demanding, contradictory. They speak of striving, of performance, of external validation. They incite fear, comparison, and a restless pursuit of fleeting pleasures or superficial achievements. The voice of your inner critic, too, is harsh, condemning, forever reminding you of your perceived inadequacies, your past failings. These voices leave you feeling anxious, burdened, and further alienated from your authentic core. But my voice, my beloved, carries a different timbre, a different spirit. It is always a voice of love, even when it calls you to challenging growth. It is a voice of truth, gently but firmly cutting through illusions and deceptions. It is a voice of peace, bringing a quiet calm to your inner storms, a sense of rightness that settles deep within your soul. My voice will always affirm your inherent worth as my cherished child. It will always call you towards greater wholeness, towards compassion for yourself and others, towards purpose, towards a deeper intimacy with me. It does not drive you with fear. It draws you with love. It does not condemn your weakness. It offers my strength. It does not seek to make you someone else. It seeks only to awaken the true you, the magnificent being it created you to be. As you begin to recognize these hallmarks of my voice, my child, a profound shift occurs within you. The old, familiar voices may still clamor, but they begin to lose their power, their authority over your heart. You start to develop a spiritual discernment, an inner knowing that can differentiate a life-giving resonance of my truth from the life-draining static of falsehood. It is like learning to tune a finely crafted instrument. My beloved, at first, all you hear is noise. But as you patiently, attentively adjust the tuning pegs of your heart, as you learn to listen with a new intentionality, the clear, pure note of my voice begins to emerge, distinct and beautiful. From amidst the dissonance, the stirring of recognition often brings with it a profound sense of relief, a dawning hope. So, I am not truly lost. Your spirit begins to whisper, there's a way back. There's a truth beyond these masks, these fears, these worldly pressures. There's a home for my soul. This recognition is the first light of your spiritual morning. My child, the moment when you realize that the wilderness you have been wandering in is not your final destination, but merely a passage, and that a loving guide has been calling your name all along. My joy, my beloved, is immeasurable as I witness this awakening within you. To see your spirit begin to respond to my call, to sense your heart turning toward my voice, is a delight to your Creator. I do not rush you in this process. I honor your journey, your timing, but I am always, gently, persistently, lovingly, calling you towards this recognition, this dawning awareness. I place breadcrumbs of my grace along your path, moments of beauty, encounters of love, whispers of truth in unexpected places, all designed to stir your memory, to awaken your longing, to help you discern the sound of my voice leading you home. Do not be discouraged if this recognition feels tentative at first, or if there are times when you still feel confused, still struggle to distinguish my voice from the others. This is a learning process. My child, a cultivation of your spiritual senses. The key is your willingness, your desire, your intentional practice of listening. Create spaces of quiet in your life. Still your mind. Open your heart. Ask me to help you hear me more clearly. And trust, my beloved, that as you sincerely seek to know my voice, I will make myself known to you with ever-increasing clarity. This stirring of recognition is a pivotal moment, a sacred turning point. It is the beginning of your conscious, intentional journey back to the radiant truth of your true self, guided by the unwavering, loving call of your God. The path ahead may still hold challenges, but you now carry within you a new compass, a divine frequency to which your soul is becoming attuned. And that, my precious one, makes all the difference. You are beginning to hear. You are beginning to see. You are beginning to awaken. And so, my child, as the gentle stirring of recognition awakens within your spirit, as my voice begins to resonate with a clarity that cuts through the long, familiar noise, the sacred invitation is now extended for you to consciously embark upon the journey of return, the journey inward, back to the luminous, cherished landscape of your true self. This is not a path to be undertaken in your own strength, nor a solitary pilgrimage into an unknown wilderness. No, my beloved, this is a journey we walk together. My voice, your constant guide. My love, your unwavering light. My grace, your all-sufficient provision, as you courageously, tenderly begin to reclaim the authentic, God-breathed essence of who you were always created to be. The first step on this journey of returning inward, my precious one, is to deepen your practice of listening. Having begun to distinguish my voice from the cacophony, you are now invited to cultivate sacred spaces of stillness in your life, moments where you intentionally quiet the outer distractions and the inner chatter, so that my whispers can become your clearest reality. This may mean setting aside time each day, even if only for a few precious moments, to simply be in my presence, to breathe deeply of my peace, and to attune your heart to my frequency. It is in this deliberate, loving attentiveness that my guidance for your unique journey of return will become increasingly discernible. I will show you, step by step, what needs to be released, what needs to be healed, and what needs to be embraced. And this leads to the next crucial movement on this path. My child, the courageous act of letting go, of consciously shedding the false selves, the masks, the personas that have long concealed your true radiance. This is often the most challenging part of the journey. For these layers, though inauthentic, may have become so familiar, so deeply ingrained, that they feel like a part of your very skin. You may have identified with them for so long that the thought of relinquishing them can evoke fear, fear of vulnerability, fear of the unknown, fear of how the world, or even you yourself, will perceive you without these accustomed defenses. But I am with you, my beloved. In this sacred divestment, my voice will gently guide you, showing you which masks are no longer serving your highest good, which roles are constricting your spirit, which borrowed identities are obscuring the unique masterpiece I created. This is not a harsh stripping away, but a loving, tender, it's unpeeling, layer by layer, at a pace your heart can bear. As you bring each false self into my light, as you acknowledge its origin often in past pain or desire for acceptance, and as you willingly choose to release its grip on you, my grace will empower you. You will find that what you feared as a loss of self is, in truth, a liberation into a far greater, more authentic, and infinitely more joyful way of being. This process of letting go, my child, often goes hand in hand with the healing of old wounds, for it is frequently our unhealed hurts, our unresolved sorrows, our unacknowledged traumas that necessitated the creation of these false selves in the first place. The masks were often attempts to protect a wounded inner child, to navigate a painful world, to avoid further suffering. Therefore, as you bravely begin to lay down these facades, I invite you to also bring those underlying wounds into the healing sanctuary of my presence. Do not fear these tender, wounded places within you. My beloved, I see them not with judgment, but with infinite compassion. My voice, which calls you back to your true self, also speaks words of profound healing, of deep comfort, of unconditional acceptance to these broken parts of your story. As you allow me access to these hidden chambers of your heart, as you expose your wounds to the light of my love, my spirit will begin its gentle, restorative work. Tears may flow, my child, and that is good, for tears can be a sacred cleansing. Memories may surface, and that, too, is part of the process. For what is brought into my light can no longer hold you captive in darkness. Trust me in this healing journey. My touch is always tender. My purpose, always restorative. I do not re-traumatize. I redeem. I do not condemn. I make whole. And as the false cells are shed and the old wounds begin to heal, a beautiful, sacred space is created within you. My child, a space for your true self to finally emerge, to breathe, to expand, to reclaim its rightful place at the center of your being. This is the joyful embrace of your authentic identity. Remember the description of your true self I shared with you, that unique divine spark, that inherent worth, those God-given gifts and passions, that innate connection to me. This is what you are returning to. This is your divine inheritance. Embracing your true self means courageously choosing to live from this authentic core, even when it feels vulnerable, even when it goes against the grain of worldly expectation. It means honoring your unique sensitivities, expressing your genuine thoughts and feelings with wisdom and love. Of course, pursuing the passions I have placed within your heart, and utilizing the specific gifts I have endowed you with for my glory and for the blessing of others. It means no longer apologizing for who I created you to be, no longer trying to contort yourself into shapes that do not fit your divine design. This is a journey of discovery as much as it is a journey of recovery. My child, for as you shed the layers of inauthenticity, you will often be surprised and delighted by the beauty, the strength, the wisdom, and the unique radiance of the true self that has been waiting patiently beneath. It may feel like meeting an old, beloved friend you had long thought lost, or like finally coming home to a place where you truly, deeply belong, the sanctuary of your own authentic spirit. In communion with mine, my voice will be your constant companion on this journey of returning inward. I will affirm you when you take courageous steps towards authenticity. I will comfort you when the process feels painful or challenging. I will guide you when you are unsure of the next step. I will celebrate with you every new unfolding of your true self. This is our shared adventure, my beloved, this sacred pilgrimage back to the heart of who you are in me. And I tell you, there's no journey more worthwhile, no destination more glorious than the full, free, and radiant expression of the true self I have so lovingly, so purposefully created you to be. Listen to my call, my child, follow my leading. Your homecoming awaits. And so, my beloved child, as you courageously respond to my call, as you embark upon that sacred journey inward and begin to shed the constricting layers of false selves, as you allow my healing love to mend the wounded places and tenderly embrace the true self I have cherished within you from eternity, a glorious transformation begins to unfold. The echoes of your lost self grow faint, replaced by the resonant, vibrant melody of your authentic spirit. And from this place of inner congruence, of rediscovered truth, there radiates a beauty, a freedom, a peace, and a power that will astonish not only those around you, but your very own soul. This, my precious one, is the radiance of authenticity, the breathtaking splendor of living as the true you, in harmonious communion with me. Imagine, my child, a light that has been hidden under a bushel, its brilliance muted, its warmth contained. As the bushel is removed, as the coverings are cast aside, that light does not need to strive to shine. It simply shines, for that is its nature. So it is with your true self. As the masks are relinquished, as the fears that kept you hidden are brought into my healing light, your authentic spirit, which is inherently luminous with my own divine spark, begins to radiate outwards with an effortless, captivating grace. This is not a beauty you manufacture, my child, but a beauty you are, a beauty that flows from the very core of your being when you are aligned with me and with the truth of who I created you to be. This radiance of authenticity manifests first as an inner peace, a profound sense of rightness that settles deep within your soul. The old restlessness, the gnawing dissatisfaction that accompanied your inauthentic striving begins to dissolve, replaced by a quiet, unshakable calm. This is the peace that comes from no longer being at war with yourself, no longer trying to be someone you are not. It is the peace of homecoming, the deep sigh of relief as your spirit finally rests in its true identity, its true center. This peace becomes your anchor in the midst of life's storms, your quiet sanctuary in a noisy world. And with this peace, my child, comes an exhilarating freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of others' expectations. For your worth is no longer tied to their approval. Freedom from the exhausting effort of maintaining facades. For you are now content to be simply, beautifully, authentically you. Freedom from the fear of judgment. For you know you are unconditionally loved and accepted by me. Freedom from the chains of past mistakes, for my grace has covered them, and your true self is not defined by them. This freedom is like taking flight after being caged for too long. My beloved, your spirit soars, unburdened, light, able to explore the vast expanse of the life I have for you with a newfound agility and joy. From this place of authentic peace and freedom, a new kind of power emerges, my child. It is not the aggressive, controlling power of the ego, nor the manipulative power born of insecurity. It is the quiet, confident power of a spirit that is aligned with truth, rooted in love, and guided by my spirit. This authentic power manifests as an unwavering integrity, a clear sense of your own values and convictions, and the courage to live by them, even when it is unpopular or challenging. It is the power to speak your truth with love, to set healthy boundaries with grace, to make choices that honor your true self and my purpose for your life, without needing to dominate or diminish others. This is the power that truly transforms. My child, the power that flows from a life lived in deep congruence with the divine. And oh, the joy, my precious one, the profound, bubbling, irrepressible joy that comes from shedding the masks and living as your true self. This is not the fleeting happiness of worldly circumstance, but the deep, abiding gladness of a spirit that is finally fully alive, expressing its unique essence, fulfilling its divine design. It is the joy of the musician finally playing their own song, the artist finally painting their own masterpiece, the dancer finally moving to their own sacred rhythm. This joy is infectious. My child, it radiates from you, touching and uplifting those around you, drawing them towards the source of all true joy, which is my own heart. When you live from your true self, my beloved, you enter into a new harmony, harmony with me, harmony with yourself, and often a truer, deeper harmony with others. Your relationship with me becomes more intimate, more authentic, for you are no longer hiding parts of yourself, but are coming to me in the fullness of who you are, knowing you are completely seen, completely known, and completely loved. Your relationship with yourself transforms from one of self-criticism and striving to one of gentle acceptance, loving nurture, and joyful self-discovery, and your relationships with others, while some superficial connections may fall away, will become richer, more meaningful, based on genuine connection and mutual respect, rather than on pretense or need. The radiance of your authenticity becomes a beacon in a world that is often shrouded in illusion and fear. As you bravely choose to live as your true self, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage inspires their courage. Your freedom ignites their longing for freedom. Your light helps to dispel the shadows in their own lives. You become, without even trying, a testament to the transformative power of my love, a living example of what it means to be truly, vibrantly, authentically alive in me. This journey of embracing and expressing your true self is ongoing. My child, there will always be new layers to discover, deeper dimensions of your authentic being to explore, greater expressions of your unique gifts to offer. But the fundamental shift has occurred. You have heard my voice. You have begun the journey of return, and you are now tasting the exquisite fruits of living in alignment with the magnificent, cherished, and true self I created you to be. Revel in this radiance. My beloved, bathe in this freedom. Rest in this peace. Wield this authentic power with love and wisdom. and let your joy be unconfined. For this is who you are meant to be. This is the life you are meant to live. And as you continue to walk in the light of your true self, you will find that your path becomes ever brighter, your song ever sweeter, and your reflection of my glory ever more luminous, drawing all who see you into the wonder of my redeeming, liberating, and all-encompassing love. And so, my beloved child, as you stand bathed in the radiant light of your own rediscovered authenticity, as your spirit rejoices in the freedom, peace, and gentle power that flows from living as your true self in harmony with me, know this with an assurance that will light all your future days, my voice, the very voice that called you back from the wilderness of false personas, will not now fall silent. No, my precious one. It remains your constant companion, your unerring guide, your loving illuminator, continually calling you deeper into the magnificent, unfolding mystery of who you are in me, and leading you into ever-expanding expressions of your unique, God-given purpose. The journey to your true self is not a destination at which you arrive and then remain static. It is a vibrant, ongoing pilgrimage, a continual unfurling, like a sacred lotus whose petals open one by one, revealing ever more intricate beauty and releasing ever more exquisite fragrance with each new season of your growth. And my voice, my child, is the gentle sun and the nourishing rain that encourages this perpetual blossoming. I will not leave you to navigate this ongoing journey of authentic living alone. My guidance is as steadfast as my love, as enduring as eternity itself. As you walk forward, living more consistently from this place of inner truth, my voice will continue to be your most trusted compass. It will guide you in the small, everyday choices, helping you to discern what is aligned with your authentic spirit and what is a subtle temptation to revert to old masks or patterns. It will speak to you in moments of decision, illuminating the path that leads to greater integrity, deeper love, and a more profound expression of your unique gifts. Listen for my gentle nudges, my quiet affirmations, the peaceful sense of rightness that confirms my leading. These are the ways my voice will continue to steer you true. There will be new horizons of your true self for you to explore. My child, hidden capacities within you that are yet to be awakened, dimensions of your divine purpose that are yet to be unveiled. As you grow in your confidence to live authentically, I will gently call you to stretch, to expand, to step into new arenas of service, of creativity, of relationship, where your true self can shine with even greater brilliance. Do not fear these new callings, my beloved. They are not demands for a performance, but invitations to a deeper unfolding, a more complete expression of the magnificent being I created you to be. And my voice will always go before you, preparing the way. And my strength will always be with you, enabling your every step. The world will continue to present its challenges, its distractions, its temptations to revert to inauthenticity, the old voices of fear, of worldly expectation, of self-doubt, may at times try to reassert their claims. But now, my child, you are better equipped. You have learned to recognize the timbre of my voice, to distinguish its life-giving resonance from their life-draining static. And as you continue to prioritize listening to me, as you intentionally cultivate those sacred spaces of stillness where my whispers can be clearly heard, my voice will become your unshakable anchor, your unwavering point of reference, keeping you steady and true amidst all the shifting currents of the world. My voice will also be a voice of continuous affirmation. My beloved, as you bravely choose to live from your authentic core, as you offer your unique gifts to the world, as you extend my love through your own genuine being, I will speak words of encouragement, of delight, of profound pride into your spirit. I rejoice in every authentic expression of your true self. My child, for in it, I see my own image reflected, my own creative artistry displayed. Let my affirmation be the nourishment that strengthens your resolve to live authentically, even when it feels vulnerable or goes against the grain of worldly approval. Furthermore, my voice will continue to call you into deeper intimacy with me, for your true self finds its ultimate fulfillment, its most complete expression, only in loving communion with its source. As you live more authentically, the barriers that once hindered our fellowship, the masks, the fears, the hidden shames, will continue to dissolve, allowing for an ever freer, ever deeper flow of my love into your heart and your love back to me. This intimate dance with me, my child, is the very heartbeat of your authentic life, the wellspring of your enduring joy and your truest power. Do not ever believe that you have arrived in such a way that you no longer need to listen for my call. The journey of becoming your true self in its fullness is a lifelong, eternal adventure. There will always be more of my love to discover, more of my wisdom to receive, more of my character to reflect, more of my purpose for you to fulfill. And my voice will be the constant invitation into that more, always luring you forward, always calling you deeper, always guiding you towards the next glorious unfolding of your divine potential. This promise of my ongoing voice, my perpetual guidance, is your security. My child, it means you are never left to figure it out on your own. It means you are never without a compass, never without a light, never without a loving presence to lead you home, again and again, to the very heart of your true self and to the very heart of me. Trust this voice. My beloved, make it the most important voice in your life. Cultivate your capacity to hear it, to heed it, to delight in it, for it is the voice of your Creator, your Redeemer, your most passionate adorer, and it will never fail you, never mislead you, never cease its loving call until you are fully, gloriously, and eternally all that I have dreamed for you to be. Live in the sound of my love, my child. It is your truest, safest, and most beautiful home. And now, my cherished one, as you stand in the radiant dawn of your authentic self, feel the gentle echo of my voice not as a command, but as a loving, constant hum within your soul, a melody of peace, a rhythm of grace. This journey of returning to your core, of living from your truth, is a beautiful unfolding that I will nurture every day. Rest in the assurance now that my guidance will never cease. My love will never waver. You are held. You are seen. You are infinitely precious in your truest form. Let your life be a testament to the joy of authenticity, a beacon of hope for others still searching for their own true song. My voice will be your light, your comfort, and your ever-present companion, leading you always deeper into the heart of my love.